My next guest clearly does not get paid by the hour because he's coming off a first-round submission victory over Alen Amedovski at UFC Fight Night, May 21st. It's Joseph Holmes back here on the program. Joe, how are you, man?
I am doing awesome, brother. So awesome.
I bet. Well, right off the bat, man, congratulations. First UFC victory, and you did it in impressive fashion. Could that fight have gone any better?
Yeah, I could have got a bonus. I definitely could have got a bonus. But I don't know. I got to figure out how these people think, how these UFC guys think, like the people that issue these bonuses and how the judges think. Because I don't know. I definitely thought that may have earned one, but, you know.
Yeah, maybe they should get the fans to vote on it. I don't know, because I feel like the UFC tends to favor fighters that are on the main card or fighters that, I don't know, the whole system seems a little bit weird sometimes. Or they should just not cap like how many bonuses there are. Like, why does it happen if there's like a card that has a ton of good finishes and maybe a card that doesn't? They should, I don't think they should put a cap on it. What do you think about that?
I could see that, but also, yeah, I kind of just feel like it has something to do with like a person's name or how big their name already is. They'll give a bonus to because. No, not knocking anyone else, but come on now. Like, you gave performance bonus to some grapplers. Like, they're supposed to grapple. Like, I don't understand. Like, the grappler's supposed to grapple. Like, we're impressed that he did that. Like, I don't know. It is what it is, but.
For sure. Well, the main thing is you got the win, and like I said, it was really impressive. Was there a bit more pressure going into this fight just because of the whole, the debut? I know which you didn't feel like you performed at your best. How was the sort of the mentality going in?
No, my mentality felt super strong. I felt like locked in. I felt in the zone. I was doing a lot of these techniques that me and my friend Micah, who was my sports therapist, Micah, was helping me out with. So I felt like they really helped me just keep my heart rate low up until the fight, and just to kind of like focus on what I needed to focus on at that time. So no, I don't feel like it was more pressure. I feel like there may have been more pressure in my first fight. In this fight, I kind of just had a lot of fun with it and felt good just being locked in.
Yeah. And having the full camp too, I'm sure helps as well. Really going in with a lot of confidence. You got to do the cross training like we talked about too, getting to train at Glory, which was awesome. Was the fight kind of how you expected it to play out, or what was sort of your thoughts on, looking back, what was the game plan going in?
The game plan was just to get my jab going, get comfortable behind my jab, look for that knee was part of my game plan. And just have active feet, just have my stance real wide, have active feet, move around, attack his body. I guess I was expecting it just because, I've been working really hard and I hit him with a knee that I had been landing in practice. And then I met that Martinez guy the day before and I showed some appreciation for his knees because I liked the way he throws his knees. And I told him that I was stealing it from him the day before at the weigh-ins. So that was kind of like a small glimpse to me as to what could happen. Me and my coach talked about it like during our shakeouts, like, man, that knee's going to be there. And then he just so happened to ask for it. And I just, I heard him because I was so locked in and sent it and it worked. So, no, man, it's a huge part of my arsenal now since I started training with Krause. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be available for me going forward.
How did you celebrate after a big win like that?
We went to Tony Roma's, got some cheap steaks, and then I actually got lobster tails. And then,
of course, a win like that, I would assume there's some lobster involved, right? And
yeah. I got some lobster
tails.
They were okay too. They weren't the best, but they were okay. But then we just ordered some fat burgers and call it a night.
So you had two dinners then, basically? You had steak and then burgers after?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
They were hours apart. Like, I finished fighting at like 5 something, so it wasn't even 6 o'clock yet. So
right,
we went
early. You had like the early bird dinner, and then obviously you got to eat later too, because your body's probably just like getting used to being like, okay, we just cut all this weight and all this stuff, right? So
yeah, like I had heartburn.
Yeah, I bet
it was great though.
Now, are you a medium rare steak type of guy, or how do you like doing your steak?
I like them really close to rare, like as close to rare as I could take it without it being like fresh out the package.
Okay. You and I got that in common. We talked last time about, fans, messaging you and things like that. Obviously, when you get a win, you're going to get a lot of positive messages. What has the feedback been like since getting that victory?
I've had a lot of people trying to become friends with me. I've had a lot of people, like one guy sent like this weird message to my girlfriend, actually. I was very shocked to hear. He was like, basically like he's a single parent and like just basically asking for money. It was very strange. And then she showed it to me, and I was like, "What the hell?" And then I had the same message from this guy. So I'm like, "No, this guy probably sent it to everybody on the card, just hoping one person's gonna fall for it."
Shoot your shot, I guess, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I know it. But stuff like that, like nothing too different. I've had a lot of people asking to do interviews and stuff, and I'm kind of letting Ed just do his job. I'm not trying to do Ed's job for him. So, um, yeah, stuff like that.
Is that kind of funny though? Like, people that sort of jump on the bandwagon when you're winning, right? Like, you often see that in MMA where, if a guy's hot, everyone's kind of doing the interview requests. And then, but it's like, where were you before this fight? Where were you after the loss? Right. You know what I mean? So do you kind of chuckle at that people are kind of, getting on the bandwagon now?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of laugh at it, but not about the bandwagon because I'm still very new. I'm very young in the sport. People haven't even heard my name yet. So I'm just blessed that the UFC has such a big name where all these people follow it, and they just so happen to, hear Ugly Man Joe on television, or they seen that notification pop up on their phone and like, "Ooh, let me search this guy." Like that's kind of like what I work for. So no, it's not something I'm like, "Oh, you should have been on the bandwagon then." Like this is my first chance, so I'm blessed that all these people are interested in me, and I appreciate it.
And you talked about it there, Ugly Man Joe, the nickname, you got the mustache. Like, how important is branding as a fighter to kind of stand out here? Because I think if you say, I'm sure there's people that watch your fight being like, "Oh yeah, that guy with the cool mustache, you got that really impressive submission victory." Like, is that something you're conscious of?
Yeah, I'm becoming more conscious of it on both ends of the retrospect because one guy posted a TikTok. He's like, "Oh, all these people get to create their names when they're in MMA, and this guy chose to create Ugly Man Joe." And then he's like laughing about it when they announced me. And then I was like reading the comments. This guy lost money. He bet on Alen. So I just thought it was so funny. He's like salty. So he's trying to like make fun of me because he lost money. So no, it's just super hilarious, man. Like people try so hard. Like
Yeah,
they
to
just
get a
try
reaction.
so freaking hard.
What about the UFC? They must have been pretty happy. I know you didn't get the bonus, but is there any indication from your management? I mean, they must have been impressed that you went out there and got a finish.
Yeah, no, Jason was super stoked. He's the manager at Iridium Sports Management Agency. He was super stoked about it. And like literally before I even left the building, he's like, "So when can we get back in there?" And I'm like, "Hey," I'm ready. I'd be down to fight like early mid-July. Like basically if they could have promised me a fight leaving that building that I would fight early mid-July, I would fight then. But because of the trip I have at the end of July, we probably won't fight till like more like September. I think I'll try and squeeze it in September so I can possibly get 2 in before the end of the year.
And you remind me again where you're going, because I think we talked about this in the last interview. Where's your trip?
We're going to Hawaii.
That's right. Okay, I was gonna say that I didn't want to say the wrong destination, and this is I think you were telling me as well that you haven't this is your first time going, right?
My first time going, so I'm so excited.
Yeah, and much better going to Hawaii off a win than a loss, right?
Hell
I mean, you kind of enjoy
is.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool. And I also remember in that interview you said as well you might go and check out some of the gyms there, right? Like in terms of some training.
Yeah, I watch Max Holloway stream. He streams video games on Facebook, and I had reached out to him once and told him I was going to take a trip out there. I'd love to train with him, stuff like that. He was talking about how his training is a little bit more exclusive. He doesn't really like train at like on the hours. He kind of like has a group message going and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'll probably try to reach out with him again because he's the only person I really know out there. There's one guy who's on the same management as me who had fought one of my old Bellator opponents, Nanoa Dung.
Okay.
Nanoa Dung, I think his name is. He trains in Hawaii, so I might reach out to him as well. But yeah, I'd definitely love to get some training in. That would be amazing.
That'd be awesome. And as far as opponents, you just kind of leave that up to your management, your coaches, like in terms of a next, because again, September the division could look different, right?
Yeah. No, I'll definitely just leave it up to them. I'm not the calling out type, at least not yet. But yeah, I mean, but I've been getting tagged in things, you know what I mean? Like that Brian Battle kid, but he ended up moving down to 70, I heard.
Oh, did he really? Oh, interesting.
That's what I heard, yeah. Some Russian guy, I hate to say it like that. Omar's a name I can't pronounce, is a possibility. Apparently he's like a good grappler or something. He fought Chow.
Okay. I'm drawing a blank too, but yeah, I know what you mean, because sometimes the names are hard to pronounce. Like, you can't win. Either you say, the Russian dude, and then that way you're not mispronouncing the name. And then if you do say the name and mispronounce it, then you get people saying, "Oh, you pronounced it wrong," right? So can't
Yeah,
win either
so
way, right?
either way, but yeah, but they're coming up with names, and either way, I'm ready to fight whoever it is. What it is, it's obviously not going to be somebody people know most likely because where we are right now. But either way,
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Before I let you out of here, I think we talked about this before, but we got that middleweight title fight coming up in your division. Obviously, Adesanya, Cannonier, July 2nd. Who are you kind of looking at in that fight? How do you think that fight plays out?
I think Cannonier has a good shot. Adesanya is kind of a point fighter. He's not really looking to put people up, like put him away and finish his fights. So I think Cannonier, if he's really aggressive and puts his back against that cage and finishes his takedowns, I think that he has a huge shot. And I'd like to see a small change in the division. And I like Israel. I like his style, but he's not like finishing fights. And that's like what this is about. Like finish your fights. Like so. I don't know. I think Cannonier has a huge shot.
And what's the plan for the rest of the week? I'm sure you're getting to, hang out with the girlfriend, watch a bit of TV, do a bit of media. What's on tap for the rest of the week?
Yeah, I got some media responsibilities. I have some private lessons, like one-on-ones with some kiddos and some people I work with. Got a crawfish boil at the end of the week I'm excited about going to. I'm planning a big party, a celebration party as well, that I'll probably make some phone calls for this week. So it's all right. It's a little bit more lax though. No training this week. I think I have 4 or 5 more days of mandatory rest. So I'm trying to take advantage of that and eat as much as possible.
And that's the best too, because like you've like earned this time off. You know what I mean? It's such a good feeling to know that like you put the work in, you're coming off a win, and now you get to like relax a bit. Everyone loves that, right?
Oh, I love it so much. Yeah, it feels great.
Good stuff, man. Well, we're looking forward to when you might compete next. We're here in September, maybe. Hope first off, hope you enjoy the trip in Hawaii. Hope all goes well, and we're looking to see you back in the cage, Joe. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, sponsors, social media, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, shout out Roadrunner Cereal Bar in Arlington, one of my newest sponsors. Much love to you guys and all your help. Shout out to Iridium Source Management Agency for the awesome fight and all the awesome opportunities. And then shout out to my coaches, James Krause with Glory MMA and Anthony Salang Singh with SFS MMA. Appreciate you guys, and I appreciate your time, of course, bro.